Diana, join me on the Lall Show every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7:20 p.m. and a rebroadcast at 11 a.m. The Lall Show only on Kaieteur Radio 99.1 and 99.5 FM. Diana, join me on the Lall Show every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7:20 p.m. and a rebroadcast at 11 a.m. The Lall Show only on Kaieteur Radio 99.1 and 99.5 FM.
This is Kaieteur Radio 99.1 and 99.5 FM. It is the radio with a difference. It is Friday. It is the second day of September 2022. Welcome down to the program where we tell it as it is every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7 hours 20 with a rebroadcast daily at 11 a.m. and on Sundays at 11 a.m., 4 p.m., and 7 p.m. With me tonight is no stranger, the man at the moment. I'll hand you over for him to make his presentation, after which, once time permits us, we'll take your telephone calls. Those numbers are 226-745-324, 622-2222, and 624-6456, numbers that you should know by heart by now. With that said, sir, namaste, and the floor is yours. Happy Friday, and it's good to be back with you.
Thank you, Josh. You didn't tell the audience where you were for the whole 2 weeks. You care to share a little where you went, what you did? How many lovely people you met? What you've learned? No?
I learned a lot.
You went to the Dutch country, or you went to Europe?
I was in the Dutch country.
Okay, because Miss Harris leave and gone to Europe. Yeah, so one by one you guys leaving and run out. Wow. I'm gonna leave and run too. Yeah, I need to take a break like you guys. Your boss have vacancy? I want to work with your boss because the way you guys traveling and the vacation you get in, man, I want them kind of vacation that is every 2-3 months you guys on vacation. Please ask him if you have vacancy and tell him that I try to fit in somewhere. I'm not that dunce that I can't fit in this company. All right.
Yes, sir.
With that, I say namaste to all you wonderful people. It's Friday, and I want to go out tonight. So I'll be taking 2-3 calls quickly. Call, you can get us on WhatsApp, 622-2222 or 624-456. Yes. So let's get cracking. Joshua, a man named Frederick Douglas said, knowledge makes a man unfit to be a slave. I saw that on Facebook. Knowledge makes a man unfit to be a slave. Uncle and auntie, the more you learn about what's happening in this country with your resources, your wealth, is less you can ever be a slave to the foreigners in this land. All right? Namaste, Joshua. Namaste. I see you watching me like that. All right. The ex-Prime Minister of Malaysia, a man named Najib Razak, was sentenced to prison. Remember?
Yeah.
I thought you weren't listening to my program, man. All right. He was sentenced 2 weeks ago to serve a 12-year jail sentence handed down to him. You remember? I talked about that. Wednesday. His wife, uncle, a lady named Rashma Mansoor, used to take bribes to give out contracts. Like she was the prime minister, not your husband. The court yesterday found she guilty of bribery and corruption and slapped a 10-year jail sentence on she, and also fined her 220 million US. Yes. I love that system in Malaysia, and I love that judge or those judges. Hope I can say the same down the road in my country called Guyana about the system and our judges. Because similar things like this will be going before them in the courts of this country with our politicians. Mark my word. And I'll be laughing, I'll be smiling. The 70-year-old is known for her love of luxury goods and jewelry, auntie. The Prime Minister wife I'm talking about. When the police raided her house back in 2018, Joshua, they found a gold and diamond necklace worth 1.6 million US dollars. You hear that, buddy? 14 some tiaras handbag and 284 designer handbags.
Wow.
That lady reminds me of a lady called Ferdinand Marcus, Ferdinand Marcus' wife. She had over 7,000 pair of shoes in her basement. The people of Malaysia, who she and her husband vowed to serve and protect, are starving and suffering. And she got all these handbags and jewelry packed away worth millions of US dollars. Let me give you guys another update. Yes, out of Sri Lanka, the International Monetary Fund, the IMF, feels sorry for the plight of the 36 million population living in Sri Lanka and give them another loan yesterday of less than 3 billion American dollars to help them pay the debts they have with China and India. You hear me? You hear me, sir?
Yes, sir.
Yes, IMF give them an extra loan for help them with to service the debt they have between China and India. Right now, they can't pay them. They can't pay the debts, the bank loans. They can't pay it. That's how bankrupt Rajapaksa, the president, left the country in. President Ali, opposition leader Norton, Ramjatan, and Vice President Jagdeo is fast taking Guyana dear with everything they do. Every single thing they do. Y'all continue to sleep. I don't, Joshua, I don't read the Guyana Chronicle or the Guyana Times for one reason. Do you know why? Both papers are the mouthpiece of the government that peddles endless stream of lies, deceit, and misleading information. Both of them, uncle. That's what they are known for. You must glance at them. They're free online. But from time to time, I just glance at them both. Yesterday, glancing at the Chronicle headline. You want to hear it?
Yes.
All Guyanese will share the nation's wealth. All Guyanese will share the nation's wealth. President Ali said so. What wealth this man talking about? Where is it, Joshua? And where will it be coming from? Huh? The day before headline was improving lives. President Ali announces better accommodation facilities for teachers, health workers in Region 9. That was it. That was the day before headline. The only thing that can come to mind, when you look at these headlines, Joshua, you hear me? Is you got to look at these things as slogans coming from these chaps' mouth. Guyana Times, major infrastructural upgrades, school, transportation, etc. for the same Region 9. And the yesterday's lead story, submit all financial records of $468 million in state funds spending. Government to IDPADA. You hear that? Let me repeat that. The government asking an organization to submit all the bills, all the financial records of $468 million state funds. Given to them by the government, but Josh. It's good. It's a good thing that the government wants to see full accountability on taxpayers' dollars given to whoever. That's a good thing. But on the other hand, Josh, the government should also be held to the same standards they're asking others to comply with. Not true, man?
Exactly.
They are spending the hag of the taxpayers' money in hundreds of billions. And when the media ask them or try to question them how our tax dollars are being spent, some of them react as if you molest them or interfere with them in some improper way. Yes, that's how them just behave. Look, it's clear. Ask them to see the oil bills from ExxonMobil and the other oil companies. Ask them to see the spendings. And look at their faces, Joshua. Watch their reactions. It's like you interfere with their sexual organs from their reactions when you ask them those things. You guys saw how President Ali reacted to the woman's simple question in Bartica about our oil blocks. Yes. Oh boy. It's like the woman pulled out all the teeth without any cocaine. The way he jumped up and responded. I don't have to play back his response over and over, man. I'm tired of playing it back. And you guys would have remembered. Ask them to see the mining contracts with the Chinese, Russians, Americans, Canadians, Indians, and the Australians in the back dam. Jack Day will still play, is still to make sure the media get it. Oh, we are still to get it. Once again, it's like you upset Jack Day when you ask him that question. Every time you ask when you ask for simple information concerning our wealth, Uncle and Auntie, it's like you pull down their pants in the middle of Regent Street or somewhere. Joe Harmon, when he was the opposition leader, tell the media 4 times. When continuously asked about the special press conference he promised to hold to talk about oil, he gone off the scene. And that press conference gone out the window too. And the man will replace him behaving even worse than Harmon, where this oil is concerned. In my quiet moment, Joshua, when I think of these people and what they're doing to this country on a daily basis, I can only see worse than Africa heading for Guyana or hanging over our head. If an immediate and serious change doesn't take place in this land. You hear me, Joshua?
Yes, sir.
Am I clear?
Yes, very clear.
Thank you. Look what Leslie Ramsamy did with that IDB report that exposed the shocking state of some of our hospitals in this country. Uncle and Auntie, you guys don't know. He sent a letter to the press, to all the press, and even get the Guyana Chronicle to carry a full-blown story how that investigation was carried out in 2020 under the coalition government. When in fact, The investigation was carried out by the representatives of IDB and our own Guyanese officials, who is part and parcel of the government. Leslie Ramsamy himself was directly part of that investigation that he is now telling us it was done in 2020 rather than 5 weeks ago, Uncle. Yes, this is the kind of deceit, lies, misinformation, wickedness, and mischief that comes out of their minds and mouths to mislead you people. For what, Uncle? Why are they doing these things? To make them look good? I guess so. Or they're fulfilling their duties by telling you a lie, Joshua. Oh, all they do is lying to us. It's Friday, Uncle, a new month, and today is the second day. Let me be nice. Let me be kind, because I'm going to have a glass of wine after the program. Josh, you joining me?
Yes, sir.
These guys we have, Uncle, are politicians of slogans with lies rather than politicians of vision and truth. You guys know how much barrel of how much a barrel of oil costing? Joshua, you know?
No.
You guys know how much to rent one of them FPSOs out there? Guyana? Huh? You know how much to rent one of them drill rigs out there? You guys know how much they're paying for one of them thousands of pipelines they lay out there? You guys know how much they're paying for them supply boats every day, every hour? How much each one of them, hundreds of helicopter trips flying in and out every hour, every 15 minutes to and from them ships? You guys know the cost? You guys know anything? No, nothing. That is what President Ali Jagdewa Norton should be asking and demanding every hour of the day. Going after that organization for accountability as to how the money you give them was spent. Like I said, man, it's nice. But whatever happened to going after the oil companies to see the billions they are robbing us each day? Each day, Uncle. Whatever happened to that? Huh? Whatever happened to that, President Ali Jagdewa Norton? That is not accountability, guys. I'm not talking about accountability alone, guys. That is profitability. Profits, Uncle. You can only see real profit when you monitor the cost, Auntie. You can give an organization money to do something. And if they waste it, if they thief it, they lose it, or they fear it out, it's done, it's gone. But when it comes to your profit sharing, Uncle, you can't lose it. You can't thief it. You can't fear it out. You just got to stay focused on the bills and get your rightful share. That is where you got to focus. And that should be an everyday slogan in both of the Guyana Times and the Guyana Chronicle. Those are the kind of things you want to see from these newspapers. Submit all your bills on your spendings, Exxon, because at the end of the day, we are sharing a 50-50 profit arrangement. But Uncle and Auntie, you would never see that in those two newspapers. And plenty of you don't know the real reason behind that. Y'all don't know the real reason behind that. These politicians, these chaps, yes, can't say anything, can't ask for anything. They can't demand anything from ExxonMobil. They can't even ask the oil companies them a hard question. So how you gonna get them headline in the Guyana Chronicle or the Guyana Times, Josh? How you get in there? And you know why they can't ask, Joshua? Exxon got secrets for almost all of them. Exxon know where they put their share, whose name they put it in, which bank they put it in, and which country they're hiding. So when it comes to ExxonMobil, everybody foot lock off, every hand tie, and every lips sealed. You have already seen enough of where they all stand when it comes to Exxon and what goes on out there. You have also seen who are the players that will be the movers and shakers of the new fairy tale city that President Ali so boastfully and proudly talk about in the making at Ogle. Oh boy, any Guyanese fit in there? Not me. I ain't know nothing there. Although I would have liked to own one of the hotels. But I ain't even get a blade of grass there. Or I am certain no Guyanese get a blade of grass there. Oh, Uncle and Auntie, you have been sold another slogan of a fairy tale city to make all of we feel good. When in fact, there is nothing there for me and you. Nothing at Ogle is there for me and you. This is how we, the Guyanese people, are being deceived, misled, with flowery slogans and rosy pictures of what Guyana will become. The Dubai. But is who? The Dubai is for who? Ask President Ali. If the 6 races of Guyana got any house lots in that fairy tale city he talked about. You always find out these things, man. When they come around, you shout at them, man. Ask them if them got a house lot in here. Everybody know. Joshua, you know this too. When a prostitute take a customer money, what they got to do? I'm just asking. They just have to kiss. Anybody kissing here in the oil sector? Wow. Every day you open the papers, you hear a slogan from Jagdeo's mouth about this gas to shore plant at Wales. None kind of proof, no evidence whatsoever that this project will deliver what he's promising. Bringing cheap electricity to Guyana and pay back for the humongous cost he and Exxon tying down Guyana with. None proof whatsoever that can ever happen, Joshua. None. Was the same kind of slogan Jagdeo and the PPP had with the 200 million Skeldon plant, where it is today. Them had the same slogan, a little different from the Skeldon plant, for the Timeri renovation. Yes. That slogan, they say it will be a hub for Africa. 10 years later, nearly 200 million sitting on my necks as loan. And where it is today, what it looked like, is one of the worst airports I have ever seen in this entire universe. Built by none other than Bharat Jagdeo and Rupson Ben and the others, we along with Ramatara. 30 years, spending hundreds upon hundreds of billions on GWI, and the Guyanese people still drinking dirty, stinking water across this land. 30 years, same thing. Hundreds of millions spent on GPL. And you still living in several parts of Africa, in Guyana, today. After all these costly failures on those projects and countless other projects done by Jagdeo, Ramotar, Granger, and now, President Ali, you want to tell Glenn Lall, or you want to tell Glenn that Jagdeo and Brasington can run a gas plant in this country, man, successfully? Huh? Something what I don't know anything about? Really? You guys really? Huh? You for real? You can't run a sugar factory, a proper rice industry, can't renovate an airport building, put a proper hospital in this country, can't give people a proper water system, an electricity system for 30 goddamn years now. Oh gosh. These are things are you born and grow in, are you know everything about. And you telling me that Jagdeo and Brasington going to deliver gas to energy plant at Wales in this country that will make money? Yeah? You guys for real? Something like I said they don't know nothing about? Or little about? No, man. No. This is not a Nancy story. And this is not a slogan. This is a tragedy beyond imagination. Trinidad, we next door neighbor, is in that gas business. Brasington and Jagdeo going into 100 years now, and them in shambles. You hear that? These two financial and business gurus we have in Guyana, who must barely know how to spell a gas plant, pushing this whole country into a $2 billion debt trap, all because of their king, ExxonMobil. You didn't hear what I said, man. They're pushing that project all because of their king, ExxonMobil. Josh? Yeah. It's like you win the big lotto and a smart man turn up to tell you, put your money in the business. In this business, you're going to make money without any proof. Yes. Just hey, buddy, hey. You're going to make money. Put it right here. Left everything to me. Yes. That way Exxon telling guy, left everything to me. This is what Barrett Jagdeo and Winston Brasington doing to all of us with that gas to shore project. ExxonMobil say, take Guyana down this road, and Jagdeo says, how far and how fast, King? That's what is going on in this country with everything that hinges around the oil and gas sector. I'm just giving you guys a reminder. Barrett Jagdeo and Winston Brasington hold a press briefing on that gas to shore project and told us, the media, all of us, not to record them. When questions were asked, the answers that came from their mouths, just not to be offensive to them at that forum, uncle, I didn't stick my, just for not being disrespectful to them, Joshua, I didn't stick my middle finger in their faces. You know what I did? I simply kicked my chair backwards and walked out of that media briefing. Since then, it's over a year now. They have never held a press conference to brief this country about this $2 billion project. The biggest project this entire region, uncle and auntie, will ever embark on is this. And never hold a press conference to tell us, to be straight up with this country. This is what we're doing, this is what it will cost, and this is how we will be able to repay and make money and reduce electricity by whatever percentage they dream up of. Why ExxonMobil tell them what thing. Never hold that. You know why? It's not a dead donkey they're throwing at you. It's worse than that. It's a whole graveyard they're digging up and throwing at y'all. Burying y'all in billions of US in debt. Guyana got $3 billion debt and can't pay. All the skeleton plant, airport and all these things added to $3 billion. Jagdev himself said that. Another $2 billion coming on your back. On an uncertain business, the gas to shore. That is what oil companies, uncle, have done from the beginning all over this world. And that's what they're going to do to us right here in Guyana with that gas to shore project. Joshua, yes, sir. You know what oil company does? They come up with billion-dollar schemes. They corrupt your leaders and cover the country in debt and leave you there for generations to come. I have a tape I want to play for you guys. Please take your time and listen to it. You would hear the voice of a U.S. economic hitman named John Perkins and what he has to say. Back in those days, uncle, he used to be in the thick of things. Part of the gangsterism that goes on in countries. Yes. They go to countries, corrupt their leaders, then carry away every single thing. Listen for yourself from the horse's mouth how they put their plans into action to take your clothes off and rape you blind. Do you have that tape? Play it for them. Let them hear.
For this person,
though, for those of you, yes, tell them.
For those of you joining us on YouTube and Facebook, the link are posted right now. You can click the link and listen to it there.
Wow. Sell real cheap or privatize. Uncle, I have to play that tape, that whole tape for you guys to listen. There are several tapes you can listen. Let me put what he said there in a nutshell. Man said he and his team used to identify countries with big wealth and resources, especially oil. Oil. They go in, sit down with the leaders, arrange huge loans for projects. Hear that? Sit down and arrange huge loans for projects that your country don't need. You hear that, man? loans for project that your country don't need. Yes. Then the man went on to say the money for these projects never goes directly to the country. It goes to their people, their own corporations, to build, install, and manage the projects. The man named some names like Halliburton and others. Big names. Yes, Halliburton is a big name. You know where I sit down right now, uncle? In Eccles on the East Bank of Demerara. They sit down there quiet, making billions already in our oil sector. You ever hear the name? That's the man, the economic hitman even called him name. They will build big infrastructure projects, making big money in the process, uncle. He talked about building power plants. You hear him, Joshua? Mm-hmm. Power plants, the man talk about. They fool, they entice, they entrap countries all over the world with power plants, telling them how they will get cheap electricity. Let me repeat this thing, man. They entice countries with power plants, tell them how they will get cheap electricity. It's one of their biggest sellers that has left countries indebted for life, Joshua. Power plants, that's what they use. That's one of the biggest seller. What are they doing in Guyana? I come into that. It is the exact thing they're doing right here in Guyana, uncle, with a gas to shore project at Wales. That is not a Jack Dewar Brassington dream plan. That is the line they were sold by ExxonMobil so that some of them will get filthy rich and the masses will be entrapped with a huge debt and more darkness. You heard the man, or you want me to play him back? Huh? You want me to play it back? The man said some of them will get filthy rich, Joshua, and the masses will be entrapped. Yes, left in darkness. Could you play it back, man? Let's play it back again, man. Oh boy, the American hitman John Perkins. Uncle and auntie, you just gotta get your family to Google his name and you can see much more how frank this man is on what he did during his lifetime and what he did to many countries. He gives solutions too for us now to learn and take. Google him and you see him. He exposed, the man just exposed and explained it very clear there, man. I have done many programs and showed you guys how even the World Bank does be part of these schemes to rob poor countries with corrupt leaders. Yes, because they always come out the winner. Their loans must be paid. You see what's going on in Sri Lanka there now. The loan must be paid. The power plant at Wales will only benefit a few hand-picked people selected by Bharat Jagdev and Winston Bassington. And the rest of the country will suffer. having to carry the burden of the debt, just like what you heard from the lips of that economic hitman just now. The pipelines and construction of the gas plant will be done by, yes, and no other, will be done by no other than an American company, ExxonMobil. And when you can't pay, the man said, when you can't pay the pound of flesh, yes, they come after your profit oil. Yes, and that's what they do. When you can't pay back for these investments, you got to give it in flesh. They come after your profit oil. They want it cheap. This is how they enslave many countries. And this is the same road where Jack Day and Brasington taking Guyana with this gas to shore project. I am tired of it. You have no insurance right now. No liability. If they explode, Guyana is doomed again. That has nothing to do with the oil business. This is a different project I'm talking about. That should explode at Wales. I'm sorry for them poor people there. Huge loans from the World Bank had Ghana losing 250 million American dollars a year on their gas plant. You hear me, Joshua?
Yes, sir.
250 million US they were losing per year. And when they kick up a stink and they start complaining, the only thing you could hear from the World Bank was, we sorry. The World Bank put Ghana into that, you know. And all the World Bank could have said, them sorry. Dig the debt hole. They dig you in debt hole with the loan which a country still have to climb out of. And then them telling the people they're sorry. The Amelia Falls Hydro Project, does it ring a bell to you, uncle and auntie? The plan was for a Chinese man to spend his money to build the hydro. Then he gonna own it. And he gonna sell we electricity for the next 20 years. Then we, after the 20 years, yes, we gonna get the dry out, hagger out, run down milking cow. Like if we dealing with garbage. Yes, only Jack Day and these Chinese people got sense. The same thing they're going to do with the Harbour Bridge, the Berbice Bridge. After they done milk come out. They're not repairing it right now. They're not doing any renovation on it right now. But after 20 years, they're going to tell you take that. They entice you with the ticket. You're taking a GOODDDD. That way you take in. 36 million people in Sri Lanka will be feeling the pain for the next 50 years or more. They can't eat right now. All because of one man named Rajapaksa, what I run out 3 months ago from office. I was in Africa when that happened, and I was smiling. I was smiling. I was saying some things in my mind. Not only run him out. You know what I was saying about him? It was too late though. It was too late for the people in Sri Lanka. The writing was on the wall years before. But the citizens never acted. Now it's too late. Everything gone for China already. Economic hitman from China corrupt the President Rajapaksa and his entire family. And together they destroyed Sri Lanka and its people. Yes. The Chinese didn't take a pound of flesh from Sri Lanka, uncle. Guess what they take? They take a whole leg of Sri Lanka. Yes. They take a deep water port worth a couple billion US with a big chunk of the people land. Yes. Leaving them hobbling, wobbling because of the huge debt that ex-president left on the heads of those people. Yes, it's the same thing. It's the same thing, these economic hitmen and from these countries did to three-quarters of Africa already. You guys heard, without African 500 billion a year, France would have already been worse than a third world country. But they lock them down, tie them down, and have them working, all the Africans working just to pay France, just to keep France living like a king and queen. Yes, that's where, that's what is happening. You know, earlier I told you guys how the IMF, sorry for Sri Lanka, and lend them an additional $3 billion to help the country service the loans them got for China and India. Oh, I'm really sorry for those people. Them chipping for help them with another small loan so they can continue to get a little credit here and there, so that they can import fuel, fertilizer, and food. The 3F. Yes. Import fuel, fertilizer, and food. The 3F. Them same 3Fs you would be suffering from very soon right here in Guyana. Don't open your mouth. Open your eyes and open your feet to say and do something about what's going on here with a gas to shore project at Wales. And you guys will see exactly where Guyana will end up. Sri Lanka and Africa isn't bad. We will end up 50 times worse than that. Untold sufferings coming your way. A great death, disaster unfolding before your eyes. And you're all playing blind and dumb. Play stupid. And Jagdeo will give you all stupid man treatment. Yes. He and Ali are not in them. The electricity woes of this nation can be done for centuries to come. Yes. In less than 2 years, Joshua. But they will not get ExxonMobil to put in green energy. No. They're not going to get ExxonMobil to give them wind or solar. For electricity, they're not going to get them to do that. You know why, Joshua? They want Guyana to use the natural gas. What them can make real money. Yes, for themselves. And in depth you at the same time. If they give solar, wind, and hydro, then what becomes of the gas what they're pumping out there? They got to burn them, they got to throw it away. You understand? They can't make no money. Yeah. The white man selling Jagdeo gas to shore project that will enrich them and a few that Barra Jagdeo will install. And that is what Barra Jagdeo reselling to all of us without any proof whatsoever that this project is really the best project for the people of this country. That's what he's doing. Now he went to Potentia and reselling another white man's story to Guyana. You have the tape? Yes. Play the next tape, my man, play it. Here another white man's story he reselling.
We have seen a resurgence of economic activity starting even in the pandemic period. And today we have the fastest growing economy in the world.
You miss a piece there, man. Some things missing from that video. When he said we are the fastest growing economy of the world, the people were clapping. I didn't hear the piece, man. Maybe you gotta find it, or I have it on my phone that I could probably play it. But Uncle, you guys have to hear when he was talking about reselling Guyana, the fastest growing economy on earth. You gotta hear how the people were clapping their hands, like if they're getting Christmas every day in their lifetime now. If only they know the truth, meaning what was behind that bull crap Jagdev was saying, they might have pelted him with ganda eggs rather than smile and clap like that. He said, we have seen a resurgence of economic activity starting even in the pandemic period. And today, we have the fastest growing economy in the world. We have the fastest growing economy in the world. Uncle and auntie, the white people of the developed world is correct when they say that Guyana is the fastest growing economy in the world. But Jagdev should not be reselling that line to the Guyanese people. He should not be reselling that line. We are the fastest growing economy. But who is reaping the benefits, uncle? These are things you guys got to ask them. Fastest growing economy, but who's getting the money? 100, you're picking 100 mango every day. 98 the white man gone with, and he left 2 for you. 2 out of the 100. He gone with 98. And out of that 2, you got to pay all the white man taxes. So you barely left with a little piece of 1 of the mango. That is how y'all growing? Huh? You getting it, uncle? You understand what I said there? Anybody life grow so far since 2019? Anybody life change so far? Has Guyana grow, Mr. Jagdev? You know what grew in this country? The debts grew. Yes. Every day they're taking debts from foreign banks. That is what is growing. Not your country, uncle. The white people who saying that Guyana is the fastest growing economy know that. Yes. Yes, they know that. They know that we are borrowing money. They know that we are not getting what we're supposed to be getting. But you think they care? No. All they can see is 100 mango going out of Guyana every day. But they don't know. Some of them will do these books and calculate these figures to put in the international domain on each country how fast they're growing. Them don't know that 98 mango doesn't belong Guyana. That conversation, the world doesn't know, uncle and auntie. That is the conversation Jagdev. The people are patriotic. And then you will see if they will smile or clap their hands. That is what Jagdev got to tell you. That 2 mango out of the 100, Guyana get it. And out of that 2 mango, Guyana have to pay the white man tax for the 98 mango. So you barely care who carrying. Guyana barely getting a piece of 1 single mango of every 100. This pipe dream, Jagdev reselling from the white man's mouth about we being the fastest growing economy, uncle, is nothing but false hopes he's selling us. It's similar to a man, Joshua. It's similar to a man slowing down his ice cream truck in front of a school full with children. And all of them believe they will have a great time with loads of this ice cream. When in fact, the man just drive off, leaving the children without even a smell, a touch, or a taste of the ice cream. That ice cream story, uncle and auntie, yes, that the children can't touch or taste, is a story what Jagdev is selling to all of us in Guyana. Yes, that is the same story. Fastest growing economy on earth. And you get in two. Two out of 100 mango. It is a fact. It is a fact, uncle, that oil operations all over this world destroying seafood, the seafood industry. The oil company them know that, but our politicians pretending that it is not so. Is where else these people going to do to y'all, man? And have y'all clapping at your hands. Where else? Huh? The farming industry will also be affected by the oil operations too. I thought for a moment a few months ago that it will take years for it to affect our crops. But Wednesday night, a gentleman called from Hag Island, and yesterday I was told that crops already began to dwindle, burn out in the heat wave from the flaring out there. Yes. I wonder if the politicians will pretend that this is not so too, like the fishing industry. And they will come up with some miracle, yes, some miracle to say that maybe it's an act of God Almighty. Kaieteur News is working on that story. You guys can call us too. If your crops have been affected by the scorching weather, let us know. 2019, uncle. One FPSO was flaring. Yes, they were burning millions of cubic feet of gas day and night up in the air. You know the kind of heat we are talking about there, Joshua? Burning so much gas? Light a fire in your house, next door to your house, whole night, man. And see what becomes of you and your neighbor. Well, that is what they're doing out there. They're burning millions of cubic feet of gas day and night, non-stop, adding to the already heated environment we are living in. They begin pumping and burning double that amount of gas in Liza 2 earlier this year. You hear me, brother? So you had the Liza 1 or you had the Liza 2 burning double what Liza 1 burning. I can feel the increased heat every day wherever I go in this country. I could feel it. And I also tell you guys how the AC unit for my home and offices will have to be increased. Uncle and auntie, wait till them start flaring in Liza 3 and 4. Yes, just wait and see when they start tripling up on Liza 3 and 4. All of us will be living in an oven in Guyana. How are we going to deal with that? Or what will you hear from Jagdev and Norton? I don't know. Maybe it's an act. It's an act from our supreme leader again. I'm just thinking or asking. But when they start flaring in 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, and 10 FPSOs, man, you're going to have to run out this land because nothing will grow and nothing will live, not even you. God bless you guys. Do have a wonderful evening. Just have a wonderful evening. Just before I came on the radio program, two of just a handful of chartered accountants in this country, one named Christopher Ram and Anangul Saran, the former Auditor General of Guyana, were on a TV program, Plain Talk, 2 days back. And I want you guys to hear what both men had to say on renegotiation of this oil contract. That your politicians saying they have to abide by the sanctity of the contract. Yes. The former Auditor General said, yes, the contract can be renegotiated if both parties agree. I have said that a million times, and I have read that part of the contract to you people already. But what Christopher Ram said, yes, the bombshell he had to say or throw on Guyana, yes, Wednesday on his program, I couldn't believe. Christopher Ram said, ExxonMobil contract was already renegotiated by the Granger administration in 2019. That's a shocking revelation to me, and I think to all Guyana. I didn't know that. I never dreamt of that. But I am so happy that I heard it from Christopher Ram's mouth. And he's challenged. You have that tape, sir?
Yes, sir.
Could you play that tape for me, please?
Yes.
Yes, play it for me.
But do you believe this contract can be renegotiated?
Certainly.
On what ground? You hear now, I hear the Vice President Jagdeo talk about sanctity of contract.
No.
I saw Routledge talk about, but certainty. They want 40 years certainty. Which company gets 40 years?
Now, the contract can be renegotiated, but both parties have to agree. It's written in the agreement that way.
Well,
so it's not.
I am saying this tonight. I know for sure. I am saying this, and I will stand by it. I know for sure in 2019 there was an agreement, a variation of the contract, a renegotiation of a provision of the contract.
2019
by the Granger administration. Let them say that Ram is not telling the truth.
So there was a
There was. I am absolutely certain about it.
But it is not true that the contract cannot be
Of course, every contract can be renegotiated.
And it's written there that both parties must agree. But have you made an effort?
Well, you see, that's all part of the election story.
Thank you, Joshua. Christopher Ram said he's sure that the Granger administration renegotiated the oil contract in 2019. Man, is how Jagdeo and Norton them is there. But then why you're not for renegotiation. And they can't handle renegotiation. And they have to stick to sanctity of contract. Uncle and Auntie, Monday I will expand and explore more on that conversation. Yes, and let me repeat and end with it. The man that named Frederick Douglas, he said, knowledge makes a man unfit to be a slave. Knowledge makes a man unfit to be a slave. Uncle and Auntie, the more you learn about what's happening in this country with your resources, is less you can ever be a slave to these foreigners. May God bless you guys, and may you have a great and fantastic weekend. I'm going to take 2 or 3 calls, and then we'll beat it on the road.
99.1 and 99.5 FM, that's your frequency check. Of course, you're listening to us right here on Kaieteur Radio. That number, we thank Mr. Lall for his presentation. Those number is 226-7453-4.
In the meantime,
622-2222 and 624-6456.
In the meantime, can I play back this reselling?
Yes.
Yeah?
We've seen a
All right, let's remind persons when they're calling us to please lower.
Good evening, you're live on the air.
Hi, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Namaste to you.
Namaste, my friend.
Yeah, I'm calling from SCQ over here, man. Yeah. Since Jagdeo was president, we supposed to get clean water. Share rusty water we get in Antonio.
And the way they're going, the people they have year after year, goating and doing the same thing, it seems that we all will die. And 5 other generations will come. Because it's a culture. One second. It's a culture these people creating, you know, and they don't mean to deviate or move away from it. Go ahead.
Yeah. And the next thing, right? Our president, right? She always talking about prosperity, right? When a security guard look at working at the government institution with $255 an hour, that's prosperity.
Oh.
These man them are demons.
You guys just asked me some hard questions. I wish I went to that university to answer the questions you're asking, bro. I'm so sorry that my parents only sent me to St. Paul's Anglican School in Zealandia.
I ain't been back to school, bro.
Well, I can't answer that question, bro.
You know me, no.
Thank you.
But
Go ahead.
the president, right? Talking about the economy in the world, right?
I can answer that. I went to school for that.
Yeah. But it was here happened to me. These people are fool in this country, listen to the strong them.
Well, they're trying to resell the white man strategy. This is why. One second. This is why I play that economic hitman, because he was part of the modus operandi back in the days in which they took advantage on third world countries and left third world countries where they are today with huge debts on their people's back.
And that same is man John Perkins, right? He give a speech so much get up and fight in the country for the right.
Exactly. You know, I could play a whole set of videos of him, but I cannot play it on Facebook and YouTube. But I can play it in Guyana. He talked about what he did, the evil he did, and he also gave advice today. Apparently he's repenting. So because he gives some good advices and ideas as to how to avoid being trapped with the same with the modus operandi they developed over the years.
Yes, and you know the next thing too, right? This politician, this polari politician, what the white man tell them, but that they target not now in this country.
Well, you see what is happening, right? Is that these countries, these are countries that come to really rape you, you know. Don't get tired with these leaders and look